In life, it's something about hearing your name announced. But in my case, it was a crowd watching that final walk across the stage. Even today, it still surprises me. Because that moment, that win, it started way back when a kid in elementary school was pulled out of class for tutoring. Eventually, I got my first offer letter, and I was excited. And when I opened it, I made a promise. God, I'll try harder. I'll do whatever it takes. I will win. I wasn't going to relieve the same struggle that I carried since grade school. Despite the financial stress, despite the late nights, I graduated. And then after a 2-year break, I enrolled into an MBA program. 2.5 years later, I finished. That proves that with consistency and hard work, despite your challenges, you can do anything. This doesn't just apply to education, this applies to life. What I learned in my MBA program. MBA programs come with core classes. Think of operations, HR, marketing, strategy, leadership, finance, and accounting. And then you choose a specialty. I chose finance. That meant courses like financial management, corporate finance, investment analysis, and applied business finance. But I didn't just learn from the classes. I learned from people as well. These are the lessons that stuck with me. Number one is my perspective. I've worked in teams with 4 to 6 classmates, and they all had backgrounds within sales, marketing, engineering, teaching, project management, and many more. We all brought a unique perspective to the table. We didn't just memorize information, but we tackled real-life case studies, challenged each other's ideas, and grew together. I was always that student asking questions, respectfully, but curious. I was honestly happy to be there. Number 2 is my network. The relationships that I've built help me land jobs, join boards, and be in rooms that I never thought I'd be in. And number 3, discipline. There was times where I worked my full-time job from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then I would go to class from 5:30 to 8:15. And then when I got home at 9, sometime I would log back on and work until 12 a.m. But don't let that scare you. But it did help me manage my time and energy with purpose. And the real world skills that I've gained were understanding how small and large business operate, leading diverse teams, virtually and in person, and building and analyzing financial models, deals, and strategies. And this is where you start thinking about your choice. Who should consider an MBA? If you're trying to switch careers, grow into leadership, or structure a business professionally, an MBA can help. But it is a tool, only if you use it well. My goal was to go to grad school, face the challenge, and add on the skills to my tool belt to eventually be a CEO of a large organization one day. But for you, ask yourself the following questions. Does this align with my long-term goal? Will this help me move faster and smarter? Can I get this outcome another way? Now let's talk about return on investment. Ivy League MBAs cost between $150,000 to $200,000 for the program. Yes, some grads walk into 6-figure roles, but that's not guaranteed. And don't forget about opportunity cost. And if you can afford it, you will be leaving your job to study. And that's lost income for 1 to 2 years. But if you're not aiming for Ivy League, then there's other options. There are strong, flexible programs that cost between $35,000 and $60,000 for the program. You can work full-time, apply what you learned, and finish off with way less debt. And this option is what I personally recommend, because if you go in the right way, you can really maximize this opportunity. And I couldn't figure out whether to categorize this as good debt or bad debt in one of my videos, because it depends on your goals. But either way, the approach that you take is a game changer. In-person versus online learning. Both formats have value, but they're not the same. Online gives flexibility, especially for working professionals, but in-person gives connection. The sidebar conversations after class, the live debates, the friendships, the accountability, it's different. If you're someone that learns through discussion and presence, being in the room is right for you. But the online option does work as well if you choose that route. When an MBA might not be worth it. If you're already growing fast in your career, if your industry does not require it, if the cost outweighs the return, if you can learn the same skills through experience, mentorship, or a certification, or something even crazier, if you just wanted the 3 letters behind your name. but here are some alternatives that can work: online or part-time MBA programs, accredited certifications, startup incubators, mentorship or self-education, or even real-world experience, just getting out there. And lastly, the final verdict: should you get an MBA? Absolutely. It changed how I think. It reshaped my mindset. It gave me tools, access, and confidence. But could you succeed without it? Of course. There's people that do it all the time. Just make sure your path matches your purpose. I hope this has helped you see things differently, and I will show you some of the principles that you can apply to your career, business, and even investing. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe button, and notification bell so that you'll never miss a drop. I appreciate you watching. I hope you take care, and I'll see you in the next one.